Hey, it's Donna here at Willie Farms, and today we're in the, let's see, we'll call it the emergency room of the geranium house. And I'm here with Kathi from the greenhouse, and I brought Kathi a patient. Now this is my plant, and Kathi, I want you to meet Horus. This is Horus.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, Horus is 14 years old. Doesn't look a day over 10, does he? Horus is 14 years old. We've had Horus quite a long time. There's a whole backstory on why it's named Horus, and maybe we'll get to that. But what we want to talk about is I'm a little bit concerned that Horus is starting to get some brown on the leaves. They're on the tip. And this is a new shoot that's coming up, but then it looks like it's in trouble already. As you can see, Horus has been larger, then has gone down. This is seems to be a new shoot over here, and I'm just concerned about Horus because Horus has sentimental value to me, and so I want to make sure that Horus thrives and survives. So, what are your thoughts, Kathi?
So from the look of poor little Horus here, this could be, the browning tips could be probably one of three main things, either underwatering, overwatering, or, which is difficult to do with a peace lily.
Right.
Or this pot has no drainage, and
Right.
sometimes what happens is minerals build up in there,
Okay.
and then that can cause specifically salt, and
Okay.
then salt can make the tips brown out like that too.
Well, that was one of my concerns. I wasn't sure whether I needed to have it in a different pot so that it would drain better or just something better. So what do we need to do first to try and figure it out?
Well, probably we're going to go ahead and upend Horus out of his pot so we can check out, we're going to depot him.
Oh, no.
And we're going to check
Okay.
out Horus's root system.
Should we pixelate? No, we won't do that.
Like bare bottoms.
Okay.
Do you have another pot in mind though if you decide to change pots for real?
I do not, because I wasn't sure what to look for as far as bigger,
Okay.
better drainage, whatever.
Bigger's not necessary at this point. This
Okay.
is a good sized pot for
Okay.
you. And even like I said, the non-drainage is not a bad idea with the staphyphyllum because they don't mind water.
Okay.
They can sit directly in water, really. And I think too, you said Horus was living in the kitchen? Midway
Horus
in the
lives
kitchen?
on the island in the middle of my kitchen
Okay.
and gets some indirect morning sun.
Okay. But he did bloom in that spot at one time.
He did bloom in that spot,
Okay.
but it's been a couple years.
Okay. Was he in that spot always when he started blooming, or had you recently moved him to that spot when he?
That was his spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Surprises me a little bit because although they don't want any direct sun, they do like nice bright light.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
Since that time though, he hasn't bloomed.
Has not bloomed, no.
Okay. And then how often were you watering, Horus?
Well, I tried to do research and I ended up watering about every 2 to 3 days. Give it a good topical water and then just let it go. I was told I shouldn't give it too much water.
Okay. Well, you certainly don't want it swimming in it, even though without soil they do swim in it.
Right.
But I'm wondering what his root system looks like. So how about if we go ahead and debrief him?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's
So
see
we're
what we
gonna-
can do.
yeah, we're
Okay.
Turn him upside down.
Upside down.
What we got
Of course, the
root.
pot is not
Ginger
conducive
jar.
to just
Ginger jar shape.
just let it come out.
One of the ankle.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So he's got some roots.
Okay. Well, that's good. All right. And he did just get watered yesterday.
Oh, and you have little rocks in the bottom.
Yes, I had some rocks in the bottom, but that may have been a moot point. I don't know.
No, it's well depending.
Yeah.
But it is much certainly wetter in the bottom than it is in the top.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Try and save some of the little rocks.
And I didn't know whether I needed to change out the soil to give it better, maybe soil with better nutrients. or what I needed to do. So these are all of the roots.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have some nice, healthier looking roots, and then you have some that are kind of blackened and are just falling away.
Okay.
So I would suggest a pot with drainage, just so it's not sitting in maybe more water, less often. So like a once a week water, but a nice
Okay.
thorough water.
Okay.
Okay, especially since he's not sitting under any kind of air conditioning vents or heat vents,
No.
or anything, which you never want to do.
No.
But his root system, for the most part, looks pretty good. Although for as old as he is, not great.
Should be much more robust.
Very massive. He should
Okay.
have been like really wound around in this pot and stuff. So he's not thriving. He's not happy. He's not entirely happy.
Well, I have to say, before he came to live with me, it was very big. He was very big. But then there was a bit of neglect, and
happens.
so it got down to very small. And that's what I planted, was very small, like this. And then it started to come back, and it's coming back to this.
You're on the upswing.
Well, I hope so.
Well, you want to make a different pot? Something green?
Okay, well, I guess I need to pick a pot. Okay, so we went and took a look around here at Willie Farms, where we have a lovely selection of plant pots and pottery. And I found this one, which I like. I love the color, and it's got the mandatory drainage, which is what we want. And we stopped and we got some for extra drainage. We got some rocks that are here, a little bit down in the bottom. And so this is the new one that we're going to work with.
We are indeed.
We are, okay.
So we've dampened up our soil already, because even in your pre-bag soils, you always want to dampen it up just enough to get the dust off of it. It helps for the soil to always be able to kind of retain moisture and deal with it better.
I do remember that. I was told, Kathy, to make a disclaimer that I don't work in the greenhouse. I mean, really. I do really very well with flowers. I do, honest I do. Horace has just been giving me some issues. So I came to the expert, and she works at the greenhouse all the time. So, and I did help with growing geraniums after the fire over in the one of the growing greenhouses.
And I think you stuck some plugs too when we were doing
Yes, I did. And I remember that I was told that you put the premix in, but then you water it down and you mix it all up and make it nice and moist before you
want
do
it
anything.
still really pliable, not muddy or milky or soupy.
Right,
But you just want to get the dust off.
Yes, so I'm not completely, clueless.
And actually, I don't know if this is the case, but I find it to kind of be the case. The spats, I think, are a little persnickety, to be honest with you.
Okay.
They act like they want to be easy maintaining, but they can get a little persnickety.
Well,
so Horus has an attitude.
Horus has been a little persnickety with me, I guess.
Absolutely.
But I still love him, and I still want to take really good care of it.
Well, hopefully we're going to make this work for you.
Okay.
I hope that Horus will come through his little transformation here and be happier and, be a little more well-adjusted. So for a little while, I hope that you might give Horus a little more bright light. Okay.
Okay. I can do that.
We're going to...
Oh yeah, and there's been major discussion about what to do with this part right here.
Yes.
It's got some new growth, but it's got some growth here that's not looking real good. So the consensus is that we need to cut it off. We're not doing anything to the root below, but we're going to cut that off. So this is what you need to consider when you're doing this sort of thing. Oh, there we go. Oh dear, okay. Okay, so there it is. All right. So, and I guess we're hoping that the energy
will go
into this and not the...
See, maybe you should come work in the greenhouse. Gretchen?
See, I'm not completely clueless, but Horus just has been giving me some heartburn.
Well, and going to go ahead. You want to hold the tip of that little leaf there.
Oh, okay.
And we're kind of sticking the bush and
Okay.
same thing with that guy.
This guy here. All right. Okay.
So we've gotten crown off of Horus.
Okay.
So hopefully we got a little something starting over here, but hopefully this will help to.
Okay. And that's one of the newer leaves too, because
It
it's
is.
just starting to uncurl.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Horus's fruits, you know, they're not spectacular looking, but he's got some.
They're branching
got some
out.
decent ones.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, some that don't look so good.
Okay.
I think if we go with, we don't want to stick him straight down, and we try not to compact the roots. We like
Okay.
really push on them.
All right.
And we don't want them to like just go under him, so we're going to spread them out.
Oh,
just
spread 'em
a little
out.
bit when we stick them in there,
Okay.
so that they can come around to the sides and such.
And then,
And then here we want to leave about an inch
well, that's what I was going to ask.
from the top of this container, so that there
Okay.
is a well.
All right. So we're
That's where people make a little bit of an error, is they want to put it all the way up to the top.
right.
And then
Okay.
when you go to water, it just runs off.
Right.
So we want it to have a little well to sit in before it goes down and out.
Okay.
And now your your saucer that's attached to this guy,
Right.
it is not that big considering.
Mhm.
So if there is overflow, you may still want to get a different saucer to sit under it, just
Oh.
in case you undo. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
So that if it
Okay.
overflows, and then don't let him sit in water probably for 15 minutes, and whenever it doesn't get sucked up, don't.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Valley gardener soil.
And
It's
it is
got-
considered plant soil, garden
yes,
soil,
it's a potting mix.
a potting mix.
Potting
Okay.
mix.
So
it
we're
is
using
for
Jolly
indoor-
Gardener
Yeah, Jolly Gardener.
potting mix.
Potting
Okay.
mix.
All right.
And then.
And we don't want to compact this too much, right?
No, so what we do is we jiggle and bump.
Oh. Okay, so the soil has some nutrient in it, but you were saying you wanted to add a little bit
Just
more.
a little. 20,
Okay.
20, 20.
20, 20, 20.
20, 20, 20. And this is like a slow release fertilizer. And we're going to put less than we normally would for a hot decide. We just want a little extra boost.
Okay.
Water. So no water. Just to settle her in, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Oh, and I see it's coming out the bottom here.
The bottom.
So that's what we have to watch for.
That it goes all the way
It
through.
goes all the way through. You said about a cup of water, and you said once a week? Once a week, okay. Well, now see, that's what I do with my African violet, not a cup, but my African violet, and I water that from below, and it does great. So now I know when I water my African violet, I'll water Horus.
There you go. And then since you're going to stick Horus in a little more light from a source coming from directionally every time
Okay.
you water, turn this
Turn it
pot a
around.
little bit so
Okay.
that it's a nice even feeding.
Okay, so I'm going to move him from the island, which is in the middle of the kitchen, over to near the window on the drain board of the sink.
Okay, and
Is
that
that gonna work?
the direction from that.
That would be
window.
getting the morning sun.
That's perfect.
That's perfect. Okay. All right, we'll do that. Okay, so we think that Horus is on the way to recovery.
Yep, on the mend.
Okay,
We're hoping.
so you're telling me I don't need this? Oh yeah, sorry. So you're telling me I don't need this?
Hopefully no.
Horus does not
Horus
need an
does not
an
need-
IV. Doesn't need an IV. Okay, well that's good. So Kathi, how long till Horus gets this big?
Oh, 3 days.
A few days. Those extra nutrients will really do the trick. Kathi, thank you very much. Let's get to Horus again.
Yeah, please keep us updated on
I
Horus's
will
recovery.
on Horus's recovery, and I appreciate all the extra help. And just a really quick background on Horus and how he got his name. We got Horus when my father passed away, and it was a much bigger plant, peace lily, that a classmate of his had given to my mother when Dad passed away. And so immediately the plant became Horus because that was the name of the classmate that gave the plant to Mom. So that's why this is Horus, and that's also why it's sentimental to me. So So there you go, the story of Horus. And I will update you. And next time, hopefully, Horus will be like this big and 3 balloons, right?
Excellent.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. A little tutorial, a little extra. Thank you to Kathi for giving us all the information on how maybe you need to repot your peace lily or another plant. So, hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something.